All right, YouTube, friends, family, enemies. Here the barber here. Gonna do another video. I'm actually utilizing the time of the shop when everybody go on lunch break, so I can maximize my day, or per se maximize my time, and start actually making archive videos. This is a video, not live, so this is gonna come out again later. But as of right now, I'm just utilizing my time and sharing some stuff that's down inside of me. Yesterday, I shared about the eagle being raised in a chicken coop. He displaced, you know what I mean? He become a product of his environment. This doggone eagle being raised around chickens took up on a chicken mentality to the point that the darn bird thought he was an eagle. Thought he was a chicken. But he had to be put under some serious duress, serious stressful situation, literally being thrown off a cliff so that all of who he is can come out of him. But he had to be put up under the right pressure in order to bring that which was within out. Now, again, today we're going to talk about the lion. It's another story. It's a couple of stories I want to tell about the lion. One, a lion being raised with some sheep. So that's going to be, again, like yesterday, it was sad and funny. And today, dealing with the lion, the eagle being the king of the skies, the lion being the king and the greatest of all beasts, the king of the jungle. So now we're going to deal with the king of the jungle. But this guy, born a lion, of course, little whelp, little kitten. I'm going to just use the word little baby lion. Some people can understand what that is, little cute, but they call him a whelp. But this little guy got separated from his mom. And again, an African farmer was out one day with his sheep, herding sheep, and he heard the cry of this baby lion. And I'm like, he was wanting to assess the situation. He did not approach that baby lion separated from his mom, because he could have put himself in a real situation, because a lot of times moms will leave their little kittens behind, so to speak, to go hunt and then come back. So but dude was like really carrying on with all his crying and stuff, like he was left astray. However, the farmer ended up, he continued to allow his sheep to graze in the area, but he kept a real good, safe distance from this kitten, you know what I mean? And so he waited all day long till it was starting to get dark. Mama hadn't showed back up yet. So he decided to go ahead and go get the little guy. Took the little kitten or the baby lion to the house and put this baby lion in the sheep pen back at the farm with these old friendly grass-eating sheep. So the baby lion was in no type of danger being raised around sheep. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have to fear for his life at all. So we'll stick a pin in that, because that's going to serve as I'll make a strong point off that later, by this lion, which is a natural born killer. I'm talking about he's a defensive, he's territorial in nature. I'm talking about in his who he is as an animal in the animal kingdom. This guy's a straight predator. He knows fighting is in him, protecting is in him, having his own pride of family or whatever kind of stuff like that, that is in him as well. But this little dude from a baby is being raised in a freaking sheep pen with some darn sheep whose mentality is nothing ferocious, nothing aggressive, nothing that is dominant. It's just some goddamn sheep. And this king is being raised with some sheep. All right. Now, Here we go. 6 months go by. This little guy for the last 6 months been going in and out with the shepherd and his flock of sheep. I mean, you know, in the beginning, he used to take him out in his arms and let him run around when they finally get to where they are. So he was used to being carried. And he was used to just hanging around the friendly sheep. And of course, baby sheep, little lambs out there, you know, they run around like dogs and have fun too. So everybody get to know one another, and they like the little lamb. He is playing with them because, of course, you know, cats are very adventurous and playful at nature too, especially growing up. So they got a whole lot of energy going on. So he making little friends and shoot, and he is being treated, being fed like he's one of them. Remember yesterday was dealing with becoming a product of your environment. An eagle being raised around chickens, thought he was a goddamn chicken, but he was so much better than that. Now you got the king of the jungle being raised in a darn sheep pen from a baby, and now he is taking on the mentality of a freaking sheep. All right, now this guy, 18 months. I'm talking about dude has got some serious size on him now. I'm talking about he got some hungers and some interesting desires with on the inside of him, because this dude, you know how you go to playing with the sheep, you go to licking the sheep and all this kind of stuff, but these little dudes, he got some interesting thoughts he got to wrestle with, because why is he thinking about wanting to take a bite out of one, or he want to eat one? So of course he's dealing with some mental challenges because he think he's crazy because he want to eat his partners, he want to eat his friends, but he don't eat his friends because he like his friends, but on the inside of him is something enraging that seems to be out of order for the guy. He don't know that that's natural for him because he think he one of them. All right. So he bouncing around. I'm talking about 2 years he been raised in the sheep pen, going out to graze, running around like he's one of the doggone fellas, the sheeps, moving like them. He's never even roared before. I don't even know what that is. But he's trying to mimic the sound that they make. Ain't turning out too good for him. He sound different. He's even noticing something about himself because he's way bigger than everybody. But he think he's just a big freaking king of the sheep, the big brother of all these sheep. I'm the big dog right here, and all y'all my little friends. So he got a family. He got friends, he got family, he got love, but he's still not who he is supposed to be from the heart. He has become a product of his environment. He is acting the way that he is acting because who he is being raised around. He's doing stuff he don't even supposed to be doing, but it's friendly and it's acceptable. But that ain't who he is. He's acting like them, and he's still not one of them. Everything he's doing, being on his best behavior, he ain't eating nobody, he ain't causing no problem, he ain't fighting nobody, he just getting along with everybody. Remember, the king of the jungle been raised in a sheep pen. Has for the last 2 years, this dude think he is a goddamn sheep. 3 years. He's quite a young adult now. He got some size. He got a beard. He got the full mane. The dude is muscular. I'm talking about because he's actually being raised on a farm, and he ain't really he don't have to hunt at all. So he ain't starving, no ribs ain't showing. He don't look like no wild lion. This dude is a big old healthy lion or a big old healthy sheep. You know what I'm saying? So one day, they out grazing normally. But on this particular day, something is about to happen. That's fixing to jar his heart, finna do something to his mind. It's finna shake him from the core of his being. So they at the water, drinking. And then out of the woods come this ferocious beast, roared, and all the sheep took off. He was so scared, that joker saw them running, he ran to, I'm talking about, he outran all of them back to the doggone, to the farm, to the sheep pen. He in the corner, everybody done bedded down, looking like they scared out of their mind. He over there looking like he's scared out of this big old joker weighing close to 400 pounds. He in the corner whimpering like he's scared out of his mind too, because what he has saw, he's never seen before. Because he's only been raised around sheep. He's only been raised around sheep. Again, they go out the next day to the same spot. This time he get to the water. Soon as he bent his head down in that water to get him a drink, he took off running again. Running back to the doggone sheep pen, but the sheep ain't running, but they wondering why he running too. Wide open going back to the goddamn sheep pen, scared out of his mind because he saw the beast again. He ain't seen nothing but his reflection in the water. And he saw the beast, the lion that came out of the woods. But he saw the beast again in the water. He ran. Nobody else running. He running. He looking back, wondering why they ain't running. And then he finally make his way back out because nobody came to the sheep pen with him. They wonder why he running. So he come on back out. Gone on back down into the water. This time he looked in the water and see his face. And he stepped back a little bit. But he, like how a dog see themselves in a mirror and they start barking and trying to fight the mirror and stuff. So now he testing the water. Every way it moved, this thing, or his reflection, so to speak, he trying to figure out what that is, and it's doing everything that he's doing. So he slapped the water and this, that, and the other, and when the water settled back down, dead is still there, and it was only him. Okay? This is mind-boggling for the guy, for the sheep lion, so to speak. Lion in physical being, but sheep at heart. While he was testing the water, something happened again. The big guy came out the woods while he was over there trying to test the water. The real deal came out of the woods, a homegrown lion from the wild, the real king of the jungle stepped out of them woods again. He backed up a little bit, but big dude roared, roar, doing his lion stuff, you know what I mean? The sheep take off. But he's kind of stood there because now he's trying to make the correlation between what he see in the water, what's in front of him, and he's trying to make the connection between him being what's standing in front of him. Now his heart is beating, but the lion is coming toward him, roaring, not to attack, but as if it was communicating something to him. Like he was really fussing at him, telling him, why are you acting the way you acting and being the way you are not by acting like them sheep. Like it was carrying on a conversation, all kind of growls and roars. And then he got face to face with the big guy. Now, with him coming face to face with himself, this began to make something come to life inside of him. The warrior. He felt threatened, but it ain't making him scared like it did the first time he first encountered it. This time, he was like compelled to want to let's get down to business. But he never felt that way before. But then at the same time, he is like, he really understand what this other guy is communicating to him. So the lion is like trying to get him to roar back at him. Like, you tried. Do roar, 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 you know what I mean? And so he tried it. This dude tried to roll the door trying to say he was sounding like a freaking sheep. Because remember, he been around these sheep for 3 years, and he running around here trying to mimic sounding and acting and behaving like them because he thought he was one of them. Now remember, all this stuff is in correlation with actually being displaced. Becoming a product of your environment. And of course, you know, I'm using these animal analogies to bring it home to people. And again, this is my first video. I'm not going to narrow it down to black men. I'm not going to narrow it down to just men. I'm just talking about people, men and women alike, in an environment that is not you, but you're behaving and you have taken up where you are and start behaving and acting like you're surrounded, but that's so not you. And everybody see that's so not you, and yet that you is trying to be what you are not, and you are doing it harder than the folks all around you. You're acting worse than everybody around you because you're trying that hard to fit in. Okay, back to my lion story. Let's take a pen and stick in that too. We'll come back to that. So we go right back to the lion. Now he roared again. Try it again. That's what it like. Roar, try it again. Say it again. Do it again. The dude did it again. He still came out kind of weak. And he kept rehearsing this thing for the next few minutes until he finally, that thing that was down in his belly came out the real roar. Let it loose. Roar. I mean, he shook the guy doing for. Birds went to flying out of trees and everything. Because, again, this lion is a big dude. He's been raised on a farm. He's a good grain-fed, meat-fed. This is a big old healthy guy. So he ain't no pushover to be looking at. You know what I'm saying? He just ain't had a while in him. He still don't know how to hunt. He looked the part, but he's not the part because he's never done the part. You understand what I'm saying? But it is who he is. He just haven't done it yet. But it's him. It's all inside of him. That's why I can say, even though he has learned all this other stuff, all of this, the real lion is down inside him. All it has to do is become full. And somebody is in front of him to help bring that about. What I'm going to call this guy? I'm going to call him a lion mentor. Somebody to follow. Somebody to help bring the best out of you because they are just like you. But you can't see that you're just like them because of your mindset. And not just the mindset, your heart set. Because you think you ain't no more than the people that you've been around. The environment that you're raised in. And all this bitterness and stuff that's on the inside of you because you don't like the way you were raised, but yet you act the way you do. And so you're blaming your behavior on where you come from. But the fact still remains, that's not you. It's just not you. So, here's the real challenge right here now. The farmer is standing a good ways off, watching the whole scene. What's fixing to take place, the real transition in the farm-raised lion, a major transition is underway in this guy's life. So the lion turns to the jungle and begin to take steps and turn back and look at him and roar as if to say, you coming or you gonna stay? And he roared again and took a few more steps back toward the jungle, back in the jungle. As if to say, what you gonna do? Make a decision, man. That ain't where you belong. You belong out here with us. You one of us. We the kings of the jungle. The lion looked at the farm, thinking about all his little friends, thinking about the master that has taken him in and has raised him. But the day of departure has come. The day of decision has come. He has come to the crossroads in his life where his life will never, ever be the same. But he must make the decision. So here we are. Lion looking back and forth. Look at the lion and headed toward the jungle. Look back at the master, make a decision. Looking back and forth, make a decision. Take a few steps toward the jungle, take a few steps back. But ultimately, he began to follow carefully in his first few steps. The jungle, the real deal, the lion that come out of the jungle, who's finna bring the best out of him. When they neared the edge of the jungle, he leaped on over into what he truly is. He leapt over on into the jungle, following after the one that's fixing to lead him into his true self, lead him into his destiny, lead him into all of what he is and what he is supposed to be doing. And so, for now, this is going to make room. I'm going to take this one and I'm going to say, to be continued. This is good. I mean, this is like delicious, because I got so much to say about, especially, I want to say young men. I'm wanting to target an audience of men, especially the young men, who's behaving and acting a certain kind of way. But this is to all people, even grown men who are still behaving like where they come from. How you take your childhood and those bad habits and bad experiences, whether it was child molestation or whether it was a drug addiction and stuff that got started in your youth, and it has spilled over into your adult life, and there is a whole lot of anger and a whole lot of bitterness and a whole lot of lack of trust and all of this kind of stuff. And we can go on, but it comes from somewhere. But that's not you. So what I'm gonna do in this moment, I'm gonna take that. I want to create a space. At the end of this video, I want you to take what this video is about with this lion and a decision that the lion had to make. Nobody made it for him. Nobody made him make it. It was just somebody was just encouraging him, that was just like him, to step into his true self and what he is really supposed to be doing in the jungle, or as people doing what you're supposed to be doing in the earth. Great men, great women, you know what I mean? Good sons or the great daughters. I'm talking about professors. We're talking about lawyers, doctors, you name it. It ain't where you come from in life, it's where you're headed in life. But you can't get stuck where you are in life because you're so bitter about where you come from. That mentality must be what they call it. It's a system that has been set up in your own mind that must be busted. So we're going to call this video something that's going to be mind-provoking and heart-provoking and life-provoking. It's a system buster. It's a behavior buster. So stick a pin in it. Stay tuned. We'll get back with you.